At this point, he saw some headlights turn into our driveway. As he exited the bedroom, he came face to face with my brother David. David witnessed me sitting up on the bed, sobbing, and frantically trying to pull my robe around me. Right after that, he took David aside and explained to him that he sometimes tickles his girls so that he can get aroused, so that he can perform for one of his wives sexually. This man robbed me of my God-given right to be safe and loved and protected and unmolested in my own home. The man who was supposed to protect me from the evils of the world is the one who subjected me to them, all the while vilifying the Gentiles as wicked, evil people.
Like many children of polygamous families, Rena's sister Laura claims that abuse is widespread.
I can think of 20 families. And if I think longer, I might think of more. And the devastating thing is that there's no intervention, no polygamous, even the leaders, when they know that there's a pedophile among them, don't understand pedophile behavior.
I call it soul murder, what has happened to my sisters and myself. It devastates your soul.
Polygamists vehemently deny that abuse is more prevalent within plural marriage than in mainstream society. They assert that their strict religious beliefs specifically exclude such behavior. But it is these beliefs which make it so difficult for women to leave polygamous relationships. Ruth Ann Stevens had 6 children with her polygamist husband.
It's very fear-based. People are afraid to go there. They don't talk about abuse. They don't talk about the dark side of it because they want everyone to believe that this is the picture of perfection, that these are the laws of God, that there's no fault here. And so it's like abuse. If you cover it up, it perpetuates. You can't imagine the high degree of secrecy. People are so afraid to talk about anything that goes on. The shame that is brought upon you for thinking or feeling these things. But it was just this whole concept that you can't live from your heart and soul. But I remember when I knew that I was going to be leaving, and it just terrified me, because I thought, I am going to go to hell. I am choosing to go to hell, but my life is hell.
I believe leaving polygamy is like a slave in the South leaving their master. They have no way to exist without that master. You have no job skills, no knowledge of the outside world, and no money, and you're freed. But where do you go? How do you survive?
Last year, some women who had escaped from polygamous marriages got together and established Tapestry, a group to help women just like themselves. One of the founders is Carmen Thompson.
The women that call our office and ask for help are terrified of the outside world. And it takes a lot for them to even call us. And we were once one of them. You're heavily indoctrinated to fear the outside world, to have nothing to do with it. The outside world are sinners, and you may lose not only your exaltation by being involved with this, you very well may lose your life. Many women are leaving under threats of blood atonement, where they can spill your blood simply for the fact that you left. And he said there's only 3 of us in the United States, and I'm the only one.
Tapestry has set up a little shop in Salt Lake City to provide clothes and other essentials for women who have fled their polygamist husbands. They say they want to break the conspiracy of silence surrounding the whole subject.
A woman called and asked for help with her 14-year-old daughter. She said that her husband had beat her, and that was okay because she had deserved it. But her 14-year-old daughter now he wanted to take as his next wife. He's the stepfather. And she wanted our help to stop that from happening. And unless she leaves, there isn't anything that we can do.
Tapestry is demanding that the Utah authorities start prosecuting polygamists.
The reality of it is, if a man was marrying his niece and he lived in mainstream society, you can bet the state would get him and he would serve jail time. But because they hide behind this cloak of religion, the state's afraid to do anything about it. State officials have said in many cases that it's probably easier to prosecute the mafia than it is polygamy. Interesting choice of words, I would think, because this really is organized crime.
But authorities have recently taken some action. John Daniel Kingston, the man who gave his daughter 10 lashes with his belt for each of her sins, was sentenced to 7 months in prison for child abuse and was ordered to undergo 2 years counseling for anger management. His brother David, who denied to the end that he had ever married his niece, was found guilty of incest and sent to prison for up to 10 years. But neither were prosecuted for polygamy. Polygamy itself was never on trial. The teenager at the center of the case is now trying to rebuild her life in the outside world. But there are thousands of young women like her still trying to pluck up the courage to leave. And polygamy remains a prison, ruled by intolerance and bigotry for countless women and children.
My sister actually carried around a $20 bill that an outsider had given her to escape. It was her ticket to freedom. And she didn't dare leave it in her purse. It had to be in her pocket. And when she was in the car, it was in the ashtray. And when they abducted her from the car, she slipped it in her shoe. $20 was her ticket to freedom. You want to do this in the name of religion?
I really love plural marriage. And there may be easier ways to live, but I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't give it up. If I could have a man out there that would worship me, I still wouldn't want him. I very much enjoy my sister wives, and I enjoy my husband, and I enjoy our style of living.